Hello there and welcome. I wanted to let you know, just like I promised, that I was going to show you how I do some of my recycling. The first part of my recycling is how I recycle my water. I was able to get one of these at Lowe's, one of these 40-gallon rain collectors. One of the best things that I could have bought. Right here is where it collects the rainwater. The only bad thing was that I had to cut into my gutter, and as you can tell, I have one of these old-timey, really hard metal gutters, so it took me a little while to cut into it, but once I did, I was very, very excited about it, very happy, because I was able to get the water into the gallon, and it fills up quite nicely. Just a little bit of rain collects beautifully. And that's how I collect all my water. And about 40 gallons, once it's filled up, will last me about 2 weeks of dryness, maybe 3 weeks of dryness, depending on the heat outside. Okay, next thing is my dirt. Okay, people laughed at me when I bought this thing, but who's laughing now? Ha ha ha! I bought one of these tumblers. Okay, this tumbler is awesome because it converts my waste, my kitchen waste, to compost in about, I don't know, 2 months instead of waiting all summer. Basically, when winter comes, I usually dump all the compost into my garden here, and then hoe it every so often. And it's beautiful. It's beautiful, beautiful dirt, nice and then after that, I take it and I shovel it out, and I shovel it into this collector here. It's basically a bin, and I sift it. I created a sifter, just a couple of 2x4s that I cut and made it into a little square, and then I got some of this netting that when I used to do composting just by piling it up, this was the netting that I used. So then I stapled it into here, and it's a great sifter, and this is what I get from it. Get some of this dirt here, and it's really, really good dirt. It's very, very fine. It's not too fine, but it's not too coarse. You want a little bit of rocks and minerals and stuff in there. Because you want the roots to kind of have to work a little bit so that the plant will get stronger, because that's what it's expecting. But other than that, it gets my seeds a good start. It's wonderful. And then all I do is, once I start potting, I put a little bit of this Vigoro in there, and then that's it. I don't do anything else after that. I love it. I love it. That's how I recycle all my dirt. When I'm done with the dirt, or when I'm done with the pot, I just dump it back into the soil. Not something like the aloe, because the aloe will probably last all year, but something that dies off like this broccoli. I'll dump it back into the dirt, give it another year of just sifting and hoeing and things like that, remineralize it, which I'll be doing even more so in the future, and it's perfectly fine for the next year. So I save on having to get some potting mix and potting soil, because I make my own. It's just wonderful. Maybe in the future I'll try to do maybe some of that, putting a little bit of peat or whatever in there. But for now, it's working, and if it works, don't fix it. Really. Okay. So a couple of years ago, I had bought this greenhouse, and it's a great greenhouse. But we had a hailstorm not too long ago, and I have no more plastic left. So in the next video, I'm going to show you, because I just bought some 2mm plastic, and I'm going to just cut it out, this frame, and check it out. Oh, and I wanted to give you some updates on the plants. Okay, so let's go in here. Okay, so here I have my the broccoli seedlings, or seeds, and the corn seeds, to see if they're going to grow in this little burpee medium. I didn't need the cover since it's going to be in my greenhouse. Down here, if you remember, I have my corn, and it's doing pretty nicely. I think I planted more than this, but that's all that's growing for now, so I'm satisfied. And then on this side, I have some seeds. I'm not sure what this was. I think this was the broccoli. but I'm not sure if it's growing the way I want it to grow. Then my little flower, which is doing well. I had to prune it, but it's doing really well. Then I still haven't potted this stuff yet. And this, my ladies and gentlemen, was the broccoli that I had in that the broccoli that I had in the little grow, in the little 2-liter, and it burnt, it died. So I'm gonna be doing this with something else. Over here we have the updates on the plants that are outside. They're doing quite nicely. I have here the corn, which is growing pretty well. And then we have the, if you could recall, this one was the one with a little bit of fertilizer, and this is the one without fertilizer. I don't see much of difference yet, you know, 4 leaves versus 4 leaves. So I don't understand. And then these right here are doing really well, in spite of being in tiny grow pots. And then we have this one over here doing well. This one was the one that was dry, but it's no longer dry. It's doing pretty well. So until the next time, this is a little bit of an update, and I'll let you know later on what's going on.